Hello divinities, my name is Jay Simone. You're watching Awaken Connect Divinity, where I provide spirituality tips for the newly awakened to help you build a better spiritual family. It has been quite some time since I've actually done tarot reading for us divinities, so I've decided I wanted to do one, but instead of doing my weekly poll reading that I normally do, just because I still would like to keep those specifically for Patreons, instead I'm going to be doing a new moon solar eclipse reading. Reading in particular is going to be guided by Aset. As y'all can see, I have like a little goddess statue here, and of course I'm burning jasmine incense as well, which is one of my favorite offerings to provide Aset with. You guys may know her as Isis. I prefer to refer to her as Aset or Iset. Yeah, sometimes the name Iset kind of stands out more to me than Aset, but yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. We are going to be pulling from her pocket oracle just because it's easier on my hands, and also I'm trying to like work with the space here, and like everything essentially has like a purpose. All the tools also help me outline where my frame is, and so like I want to keep that in mind as I just kind of pull here. And looking at it, I kind of have like a small frame to work with, so that's why I'm using the smaller cards. I mean, I could probably make the frame bigger if I wanted to. All I'd have to do is just like adjust the camera and stuff. But I don't feel like doing that today. I feel like kind of sticking with where we're at because your girl's lazy. But I do want to make sure that this video is available to all of the divinities that would like to receive it, especially with me at this time. Channeling Isis, Aset, Iset energy. Yeah, with me kind of like trying to channel her energy. Yeah, I want to make sure like this is available to everyone, just because I feel like there's a few reasons why I try to be a little bit open about like my practice of working with the Kemetic pantheon. I feel like we don't give them enough recognition. In fact, we typically will recognize Greek and Roman pantheons or Celtic pantheons, so we like do. The Egyptian pantheon is not particularly noted. And Magical Circle, I feel like as a Black spiritualist as well, highlighting the Egyptian pantheon, or like some people may not resonate with Yoruba. Some people may not resonate with like some of the more popular African American religion or traditional religions or anything like that. And personally for me, I feel like the Kemetic pantheon kind of like is a very, I don't want to say one size fits all because it's technically not, but in the way that I see it, it kind of works kind of like as one size fits all, and that yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like if you guys look at a lot of the African continent, you'll find that a lot of the myths and stories carry over. Also that they, in African history, they have like no problem with consolidating and like corresponding the gods to other gods. So, but I'm sticking with Kemetic just because to me it's like the most intact spiritual tradition, I want to say. Maybe I'll go into that later. I'm kind of rambling at this point. So let's go ahead and see what Aset has for us for the solar eclipse message. Mama Aset, go ahead and provide us with a message for the solar eclipse energy. Go ahead and guide us as to what you want to be focus of the new moon and solar eclipse energy that is coming up. I ask that you do this in unconditional love, aligned with my highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of the collective. Only that which is aligned with unconditional love can come through at this time. Anything not aligned with unconditional love cannot come through. Ancient power mysteries. This oracle guides you to honor the power of your voice, whether through spoken or sung words, or through what you write, speak about, or stand for symbolically. You have a potentially very powerful healing voice, and you're guided to recognize the responsibility you have for what you proclaim through your voice. Ancient power mysteries. I think this is fitting. Aset is one of the few Egyptian Neteru that is able to extend her power and invoke change in reality through her voice. And if you guys have been in the spiritual game, you know that a lot of times what you say does turn into your reality. And I especially feel like that's true as you not only grow in your path, but also like as of late, personally, I feel like I've been able to say things and it manifests practically instantaneously. If not instantaneously, when it does take time to manifest, it still unfolds as exactly as I say it does. So, first of all, as someone that regularly works with Aset, you do definitely, like, if you are going to be recognizing her like as your main go-to energy, I guess would be the way to say it, is to be aware of your words, because you'll start saying stuff and then you'll start to realize just how powerful your words are. Another spiritualist I follow, priestess Aset Ra Amen, she regularly talks about how a lot of the current magic of this era is magic through the power of words. And essentially, I just want to make sure you guys recognize that. And I feel like Aset especially is wanting us to recognize that with the solar eclipse going on and it being a new moon. There is going to be a lot of energy on that day, and I want to say leading up to and after. I would give it about a week of the energy, maybe a little bit longer, just because personally I felt like the eclipse energy was just so strong this last week. At least personally for me, it was extremely strong, and its effects could be felt, I felt like. So with that in mind, definitely during this period, you will want to be mindful of your words. For those of you that work with solar energies, if you're new to the spiritual game, or if you're sensitive, like extremely sensitive, because I know some of us aren't as sensitive as others, like energetically we're not super affected. Ooh, Eight of Cups. Okay. You may want to watch out for the energy going on that day, just because I feel like we may be used to solar energy being one way, but with like the moon being in front of the sun, I don't know, I just worry that it's going to be like super amplified at that time, especially with the moon being considered a mirror and reflecting a lot of light of the sun. I feel like it's going to completely and totally intensify the solar energy coming in. So with that being said, Aset gives us a 8 of Cups to consider as well. So this eclipse is going to bring up emotional energies that we may have been sitting on, that we may be finally deciding to let go. I think it's important that as we look at this situation and we encounter it, we do need to recognize how much power we have over the situation. And I feel like the Emperor just kind of confirms that as well. The reason I say that is because though we're like in a situation of grief and walking away, I definitely feel like she's saying, remember your power, remember your words. And I feel like the Emperor also kind of calls that as well, like as a reminder of your authority, because despite being in this depressed state or in this state of sadness or contemplation, we do have the power to change that situation based on the power of our words. We can speak over it. If we neglect to do so, we may find ourselves in more of like a 5 of Pentacles energy. So we may be seeing the emotional effects that we are feeling within are going to reflect themselves outwards as like manifestations in our daily lives. Like we may feel like it's tight with money, or we may have failing health, situations like that in which we may feel a little bit hopeless, or we may be giving away our power, or we may be just forgetting the light of the divine. But I feel like with the 4, the Emperor right here, she is saying, hey guys, you are essentially the divine. You are calling in that power. You have that authority, and you need to remember that. Like I definitely feel like she's wanting us to remember that. Yeah, and then like we end up with the 10 of Pentacles. She's confident that we will remember that, and in doing so, we will claim and speak prosperity into our lives. We will speak prosperity over our health, our wealth, our finances, everything like that. I definitely feel like this 10 of Pentacles is just like her confirming, hey, if you remember that, you will definitely conquer this situation. I'm realizing this is going to be a short read. I kind of like didn't really have any full ideas to like a spread or anything, so I'm just kind of winging it. I'm seeing what's coming through. Go ahead and see if she has anything else for us at this time. Temperance. She is saying remain balanced, remain ma'at. Definitely like this is going to be a period in which emotions will be rising and falling and very finicky. No, not finicky, fickle. But it's meant to reveal to us, I've heard from other mini spiritualists, I'm going to have to agree as well, it is meant to reveal to us the things that we need to cut away from our lives. That being said, as we're remembering the things that we need to cut away from our lives, we are the ones deciding the direction of our lives, our paths, and how everything is going to flow. But that being said, that doesn't erase the difficult emotions that we're going to have to go through. And I feel like Temperance is saying, hey, you're going through these difficult emotions, but not only do you need to lean into your divine self to reflect on it and contemplate these emotions, but also you can let yourself feel stuff that still have it conducted in ma'at, so in balance and within reason. It's, you can still be emotional, but you want to watch for extremes. And I definitely feel like that's coming through with like with us having like the Eight of Cups being like one of the biggest things for this. Again, overall, we're expected to kind of speak things into our lives that are going to be occurring for this period. Something tells me that affirmations are definitely going to be key at this time. So with all that in mind, I honestly truly feel like that is the message that she wants to communicate for this eclipse. And I hope that you guys find it useful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or message or anything. Make sure to check me out on the Clock Talk. I do tend to post daily oracle reads on the Clock Talk. I'm also trying to make sure I'm posting more about like Kemetic spirituality and like working with the different Neteru and everything like that. I'm hoping to, okay, so I already have a crash course of Aset, but I'm hoping to do like maybe a crash course of Sekhmet or Asar. I feel like by doing Aset first, I probably should follow up with Asar, but personally I've been leaning more into like Sekhmet energy in my life with the things that have been going on, and that might be a thing. But I also had a discussion with a friend and she was asking me more about like the different Neteru and everything like that, so I might just kind of like briefly touch on the lore between Aset and Asar and kind of like how that's translating into like explaining the functions of our reality and like what leaning into both those energies or recognizing both those energies in your life consists of. And to say, you guys mostly see me talk about our Aset, but I do at times will align with Sekhmet and Ma'at and Asar Haru. So like I really just want to make sure I provide you guys like a way to see how these energies manifest in your life externally and internally, because it's like the energies are within us and outside of us. They are the foundations of our reality, but they are also within us for us to better align and call things into our lives. Like the biggest thing about Kemetic spirituality, and you will see this as you like review any different, especially if you read like the Book of the Dead, the goal of Kemetic spirituality is to become Asar. Asar's story is that essentially he was killed by his brother Set, but he's a benevolent king. Upon his death, Aset brought him back, and he was back long enough for her to conceive Horus. It was an immaculate conception, so probably most likely one of the many bases of the Jesus story. And through Horus was able to avenge his father and also take the throne of Egypt or Kemet. All that to say is the story and everything is a metaphor for our spiritual journey, our spiritual selves, and I want to make sure that like I emphasize that and explain it in that way. But like I said, these energies are within and outside of us, so it's kind of like as you work with them, you will see how they kind of manifest and show up in your life. Anyways, I hope all this was like useful to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.